Hey guys, it's Phil here from TechSmart, and today we are going to be taking a look at 50 plus tips and tricks for the brand new iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. So we're going to hop right into it, and we're going to look at the way to hide QuickType. So if we go ahead and compose a new message, and we are in the keyboard, you have the QuickType option right up top, and a lot of people don't really like that. So if it's distracting or whatever, just swipe down, it'll go ahead and hide, and if you want to show it, you just swipe right back up on that little line. Next, if you're in a message, and I'll just go ahead and add a recipient to this, you can easily send a photo by just tapping on the photo icon and swiping up. It'll go ahead and send a picture, and if you want to send an audio clip, you can actually tap on the microphone. It'll be recording and then drag up, and then it'll go ahead and send. Number 4 is you actually now have some better photo syncing options. So if you jump into the settings, and within photo and video, you'll see that photo stream is in here, and when you enable that, it'll actually break the limit of 1,000 photos and upload all your photos to iCloud. Number 5, you can selectively clear your web browsing history in Safari. You can go ahead and open up your history, and once you're in your history, you can manually delete certain items, or if you're wanting to hit clear, you now have some options for clear today and yesterday, or clear all history. Number 6, you have location-based shortcuts on your lock screen. So if you go into something like a Starbucks and you have the Starbucks app, you'll see their little icon in the lower left-hand corner. You can drag up and it'll bring you right into their application. Number 7, you have custom mail management options. So if you hop into your settings, and within settings, if you go to mail, contacts, and calendars, you can go to swipe options, and in here you can choose whether swipe right does mark as read, or archive, or flag, as well as swipe left, and you can choose these settings for that. Number 8 is in the mail app. So if we go ahead and open it up, you can easily hide a draft. So if you're in the middle of emailing somebody and you want to just hide it away, you can go ahead and just drag and pull down, and compared to other versions of iOS, that's a lot easier and much more helpful, so you can quickly jump between your messages very easily. Next up, you can show related messages in the mail app. So if you just swipe over, you can click on more, and then you have show related messages, and this will show any messages that have a similar context within them. Number 10, you have interactive notification banners. So if I go ahead and send myself a text, and then we'll close out, you'll see that I can now interact. So if I wanted to quickly reply or send an audio message, I can do so right from the notification window. This also works with apps like Twitter, and there's an API available so developers can bake it into their apps. Number 11 is third-party keyboards. So you can go ahead and download them from the App Store and hop into your settings. Once you're in settings, you can go down to General, Language, and Keyboard. And once you're in here, you can enable third-party keyboards. Just hit Add Keyboard. We have Swift Key. And now if I wanted to use that, open up messaging, click on the globe icon, and go to Swift Key. So now if I wanted to swipe away, I can do so. Number 12 is your recent contacts and favorites are going to show up in your multitasking window. So you'll have your recents and then your favorites over to the left. You can hide this in your settings. Number 13, you can delete individual notifications. So if you pull down the notification window and you wanted to delete something, you can just swipe over and hit erase instead of having to clear everything all at once. Number 14 is you can fine tune the exposure in the camera. So if you go ahead and tap to focus, you can then drag the exposure slider up and down. Number 15 is time-lapse photo. So if you swipe all the way to the left in your camera app, you now have this option for a time-lapse. You can go ahead and hit record, and it's going to dynamically choose the best time for you to adjust the speed and duration of the video. Number 16 is the built-in tips app. So if you go ahead and type tips, you'll see that we have some quick tips in here just letting you know some more settings and options within iOS 8. Number 17 is widgets. So if you pull down your notification bar, you can see that I have this weather widget here. And if we click edit, we have other apps that allow this ability. So the developer does have to create a widget for it, but once they do, you can have it in your notification pull down. So I have this from Clear, it's just kind of showing a quote, and then I have weather from Yahoo Weather. Number 18, you can enable Do Not Disturb for individual contacts or chats. So if I go into messaging, go to details, I can enable Do Not Disturb for myself. This will block calls and texts from that one contact, and you can do that with group chats as well. Number 19 is Enhanced Spotlight Search. So if you pull down your Spotlight, you can now search for stuff like movie times, as well as songs, apps that you don't have on your phone. So I'll type Angry Birds, and you'll see that it links me to the App Store, Wikipedia, or any websites pertaining to this search. Number 20, you have a quick option for display settings. So if you hop into your settings, you can now just go right into display, which is a lot easier than previous versions of iOS. You have your options for auto brightness. You can also do the display zoom if you're on the 6 or 6 Plus. Just a little bit easier, and they kind of aggregated all your display settings into one spot. 21, you can customize your share sheets. So if you go to a photo and we hit send, and you swipe all the way to the right, you can hit more, and now you can enable and disable some of the sharing options, rearrange the order, so that these will change accordingly when you're wanting to share a photo. Number 22, you have a new way to explore apps. So if you go to your app store, you're gonna have the same location-based apps that you had before. However, they're refined a little bit better, and you have all these different categories to sift through as well. 24 is really just a helpful tip. You're gonna wanna make some room for new applications because there is more pre-installed apps in this version of iOS. So stuff like podcasts is there, you cannot delete it. So just make sure that you free up some space on your phone before updating, or you be aware of that when you're upgrading to an iPhone 6 or 6 Plus. 25, if you're back in your photos, there's some new editing options which are actually really helpful. So if you go ahead and click edit, you now have this fine-tune adjustment for light, and then when you're in here, you have just 1,000,001 different options. So you can really tweak the brightness, everything in there, and get the exact photo that you want. Bump the contrast and kind of do whatever you want. You can also add filters. You've been able to have this feature before, but if you're not wanting to stick with the default Instagram stuff, you can do everything right from the Photos app. 26 is for calendar, and this is travel time notifications. So if you're creating an event in the calendar, you can actually accommodate for travel time. So whatever we're wanting to do, if you hit travel time right here, enable this, you can kind of give it a little bit more of an update. So if you know that you're going to be taking the train or commuting, you can accommodate for that within the calendar notifications. 27 is automated wish list. So basically when you have Siri search for a song, it's going to automatically add that song to your iOS wish list. Number 28, you have battery usage control in your settings. This is extremely helpful. So if you go into settings, general usage, and here you have battery usage now, and you can see just standard usage time like you've been able to. However, you can see battery usage for specific apps through 24 hours or a 3-day span. So obviously I've been using a lot of messaging. My home screen and lock screen has been using a lot of activity as well. 29 is DuckDuckGo web searching. So if you hop into your settings again, you can go down to Safari and search engine, and you'll see DuckDuckGo, and basically this is a crowd-funded search engine that doesn't store any of your data, anything like that, so it's totally private. And if you want to search for something, it's not going to store any of your data like Google will, or Bing, or Yahoo. It's great if you're somebody that really cares about their privacy and doesn't want Google searching what you're doing. Number 30 is you have the ability to format notes. You can go bold, underline, italics, and then you can even insert a photo. So if we wanted to put this in here, we now have this totally crazy note. Number 31 is the improved weather updates in the stock weather application. So you have a 9-day forecast, you have a little bit more updated forecast, as well as this description down here letting you know everything that's going on in the day, kind of in layman's terms. So mostly sunny, the high will be 72, and then cloudy tonight with a low of 59. So it's getting kind of chilly, and we are definitely getting into fall. Number 32 is handoff, and this is really a pretty crazy feature in iOS 8. You can jump between your iPhone, iPad, Mac very easily, and you can see some of the settings in general handoff. Unfortunately, nothing's too available just yet. You really have to wait for the full Yosemite to be available, and everything's going to be ready in October. Number 33 is health. So you have the health application pre-installed. And if you watch our iOS 8 review, you can see this is really just a hub, and you use other applications to collect the data, and this is your central storage for the data, and it's an easy way to filter through everything about your body or everything that you've been tracking. So next up is scan credit card options in Safari, and I thought this was pretty crazy because I genuinely had no idea that this was a feature. If you're in Safari and you're in a field where it's asking you to enter your credit card, so if we click name on card, you have this option right here to scan a credit card. Once you tap on that, it's going to go ahead and open up this camera, and you can go ahead and take a photo of the credit card, and once the credit card's in frame, it'll enter all the information for you. You're still going to have to enter the security code. However, it does help you out, although I'm not really sure how this is going to deal with privacy. But then again, you're not required to do it. It's just a nice little feature that's in iOS 8. So next up is interactive lock screen notifications. So I have this email here and I can actually go ahead, mark it as read or move it to trash right from the lock screen without having to unlock the phone or do anything. So we'll mark it as read and it'll go ahead and dismiss. Number 36 is Wi-Fi calling. Now I can't really demonstrate this feature because it's only available for T-Mobile currently in the US, but the iPhone now is going to allow you to do Wi-Fi calling. It does require your carrier to have it available though. Number 37 is the ability to hide photos. So if you go into your photos and we'll go to recently added, if you long press on a photo you can click hide. Now it's not going to hide it right from your recently added, it actually hides it from your collections and other photos. So we can go here and you'll notice that that photo is no longer there. Click hide. And it disappears. 38, you have raise to listen for audio messages. So if you're using audio messaging, you can actually just lift up your phone, raise it to your ear, and it'll go ahead and start playing without having to actually tap the play button. 39 is auto erasing text messages. Now this is either really good or really bad depending on your person. So if we go into settings and messages, you can see that we have auto erase in here. So what this is going to do is either keep all your messages or erase it after 30 days or a year. Now a lot of people don't know this, but messaging actually takes up a lot of storage on your phone. Every time you get a photo, video, everything, it stores that in your messaging app. That actually accumulates to a lot of the storage on your phone. So you can actually have it clear out messages, but I have it set to not deleting any because I don't really want them to. I also have the 64 gig phone, so I'm not going to run into any problems there. Number 40, you can quickly disable notifications for certain apps. So you've always been able to do this, but now they just make it a little bit easier. So if you go to settings, notifications, you select a specific app. So we'll go to Skype. You can just disable allow notifications. It's a lot easier than having to uncheck all the boxes like you had to in the past. Just allow or not allow. 41 is a feature called Hey Siri. So if your phone is plugged into power, which mine's not right now, you can say Hey Siri, hands-free, screen's locked, whatever, and Siri will go ahead and wake up and start accepting your voice. This is great if you're in the car. I always plug my phone into the car charger and I can just say Hey Siri while I'm driving and start talking to her. 42, you can quickly purchase music through iTunes. If you're listening to iTunes Radio and you pull up on Control Center, you'll actually see a little icon that says buy, so you can quickly jump into purchasing music. I personally use Spotify, so that feature is not really too helpful for me. 43 is just that they've really improved the voice dictation in iOS 8 as a whole. So if you go into Notes and we want to record your voice, you can see that they're also going to automatically start bringing in your voice instantly. So, hey, how are you doing? This is just a test of the audio. And we'll let it finish up. It's pretty crazy and it's very accurate. Siri's always been pretty good, but now it's even better. In iTunes, you can now delete your albums. You have family sharing, so if you go into your settings, and once you're in settings and you go to iCloud, you can go to set up family sharing, and in here you can actually now have one master account and have other people branch off your account. So if they want to purchase apps, it'll send you a notification and you can approve or reject the request. Number 48, you can enable send last location for Find My iPhone. This means once your iPhone is about to die, it'll actually send you the last location so you can try to find that stolen phone. 49 is speak screen. So if you go into settings and accessibility, you can go down to speech and then you can enable speak screen. So now when you drag down with two fingers,
speak selection off.
You're going to have this really annoying option here, but could be really helpful for you. That's going to read out whatever on the entire screen. You can change the reading rate as well here. Number 50 is grayscale mode. So this is in settings and accessibility. Enable grayscale. So if it's straining your eyes too much with the LCD, now everything is in grayscale. Number 51, in Siri, you can ask what song is playing. What song is this?
Naming that tune.
It's going to use Shazam to find out whatever song is playing. In the camera, you actually now have a camera timer. So if you go to photo, you can see this timer right up top for 3 or 10 seconds. And 53, you can create nested folders. So if you want to go ahead and put this music folder inside of another, just drag your app right over and then tap on your folder and drop it right in. Obviously that's not really meant to work, but it does and it's nice. So if you want to organize apps a little bit better, you can go ahead and drag a folder within a folder. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching these 50 plus tips and tricks on the iPhone 6 as well as 6 Plus. Be sure to leave a comment down below letting us know which tip you like the most, as well as if you have any more tips that we left out. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.